Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today on Cindy Bishop Worldwide. And I'm Kelly Catalinas. I'm a branch manager with Fairway Independent Mortgage. And it is my pleasure to introduce once again Sarah Rubin, who is our Regional Marketing Director, for another part in a many series of things that she has done on Cindy Bishop Worldwide to help you all with your marketing plans in your business. Today, she's going to teach her webinar, Marketing Starts on Monday. I know it's Tuesday, but you can start it any day. So I will let Sarah take it from here.
Yeah,
Sarah?
thank you, Kelly. So, I think the whole premise behind this webinar is we hear people say so often with their New Year's resolutions or with goals, I'll start it at the start of the year. It's no big deal. Or on Monday next week, that's when my diet really starts. And I hear people say it with marketing also. They're like, we're busy. When things calm down, that's when I'll worry about my marketing. And unfortunately, that's a really flawed plan. You have to incorporate marketing even at your busiest times so that when you're slower, it's already working for you, and hopefully makes it so that there are less periods of time that are slower in the industry. So we're going to go through kind of what your marketing plan needs to look like, which is really ties well into what Kelly and Cindy are teaching on time management. It'll all really kind of come together nicely. So first, I want to talk about the process of creating a marketing plan, so that you can really start now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours trying to develop this plan. It's really quite quick and simple. So we're going to go through each of these in a bunch more detail, but the process itself is to evaluate, establish, prioritize, plan, and then execute. So evaluating, you need to really look back and say, what did you do this year or this past year, depending on when you do this. So if you're going to do it today, which is absolutely what I would recommend, but really, if you're looking at doing it this week or maybe in a month or 2 months, you need to evaluate what you already did this year and what you did last year. And then you need to ask yourself what went well and what could have gone better. And the more honest you are about those answers, the better. It's really easy and it's human nature to say, oh, nothing went so horribly in terms of my marketing. But it's a lot more effective if you are really honest with yourself about what was successful and what wasn't, so that you don't make the same mistakes twice. And you duplicate and replicate exactly what went well. After you evaluate, you need to establish. So marketing is not your job. It is not your primary function. It's not what brings in a paycheck necessarily. And so you need to say, where do I actually want to focus my time when it comes to marketing? Where do I want to spend my energy and potentially some money? Because there are things in the marketing sphere that will cost you money. Maybe you want to buy leads. Maybe you want to develop a new website. Maybe you really want to invest in coaching. All of that is budget that you have to decide, is it worth it or is it not? And you want all of those things, your time, your energy, and that money to really align. Because if you just kind of throw everything against the wall and hope something sticks, you're going to end up wasting your time, your energy, and potentially some money. And that's absolutely what we don't want for you. After you kind of establish what you want to do, you need to prioritize it. So what needs to happen today? What can happen in a month from now, 6 months from now, and later in the year? And I think the easiest question to ask yourself when you're trying to prioritize is, what will you be really disappointed in if it doesn't happen? So whatever those answers are, those need to be first on the list or higher up on the list. The things you say, I'd really like this to happen, but if it doesn't, I won't be devastated. That's the bottom of the list. That's what can happen in 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. So I think it's really important to make sure that list is actually written down and is not just something in your head, because it's easy, if the list is only in your head, to not hold yourself to it. Once it's on paper, you can't deny it. It's out there. It's in front of you. After you prioritize, you need to plan. So you need to ask yourself, What do you need to be successful? Is it having someone help you with your marketing? Is it running your ideas through another person? Is it a tool or a platform or a technology? And then are you being realistic? Do you do no video right now and you want to have a really effective YouTube channel in 2 months? That's not realistic. If you are doing some video right now and it's in 12 different places and you really want to hone that in to YouTube, that's realistic. So I often hear people say, okay, I'm going to commit to social media this year. And to them, that means they need to be on every single social media platform available. That's not realistic. Could you create an account on everyone? Yes. Could you be effective on everyone? Absolutely not. So if social media, video, all of that stuff is in your 2021 plan, you want to start exactly where you are. So if you're on no social media channels, you need to join one. If you're on two, you need to join one more. So it's step by step to be really effective. So those are kind of the biggest parts of the beginning process. After you've determined what you want to do and come up with a plan, you really need to set your goals. And it's different than just establishing your plan. You need to really start smart. And people have big, scary, audacious goals, and we love those. But it's important that that's not all of your goals. So even when I was in school getting my marketing degree, and almost every day since, I use this term. It's so important that your goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. If they are not, you can't measure against them. You cannot say, was this accomplished or was it not? So specific. You need to say exactly what you want to do and by when. So you can't just say, I want to sell more homes or I want to help more clients. That is not helpful when you then look back. Sure, you could say, I helped one more person, but is that what you meant? In terms of marketing, I want to be on social media, not specific. I want to increase my Instagram following by 2%, specific. Measurable. You need to be able to measure your goal. So you need to have a number attached. It cannot just be more or less. That doesn't work. You need that hard metric. Attainable. So this kind of goes back to that planning piece. This is not the point in time where you're setting the goals that you can't reach realistically, but that you want to scare yourself with. This is when you think about what you can realistically accomplish in whatever time period. So we'll continue to use this example. I want to increase my Instagram following by 2% is attainable. By 20%, not really. Unless, of course, you're at one follower, then sure. But when we're talking about real numbers here, 2% is attainable and 20% is absolutely not. So you need to be realistic with yourself. I will tell you, even from a doing marketing all day, every day perspective, we don't set our goals at 20% growth. We set them at 5%, 6%, and our whole days are dedicated to building followings and influence and things like that. So if you're asking what is an attainable social media or marketing goal, I really do suggest that 2% number. Relevant. So you need to make sure your goals fit within the industry and within your business plans. So if you go to the time management workshop and you're talking about, what your day needs to look like, your marketing goals cannot be outside of that. It has to be relevant to that time management that you all are talking about. Another great example here would be, you can't have a marketing goal to maybe completely master TikTok when that's not where homes are being sold. You need to make sure the platforms you're choosing, the goals you're choosing, they're relevant to real estate, to your business model, and to your time management. time bound. So this is where you put a cap on it. So I want to increase my Instagram following by 2% by March or by June, whatever you want, or by 2022, whatever works for you, but it needs to have a deadline, because we could all say, the most common New Year's resolution, I want to lose 10 pounds. But if I lose 10 pounds in 20 years, did I accomplish my goal? I mean, theoretically, maybe, but no. So with marketing, same deal. I want to increase my following by this time. After you set your SMART goals, that's when we dream big. So everyone I work with, when we're creating their marketing plans, they set their SMART goals. They literally spell it out. But after that, we set 3 big, scary, audacious goals that we may or may not hit in the following year. And the reason we put them out there is, again, that piece of paper mentality. If you write them down, you work towards them, you come back to them. So in terms of marketing, that is really all about putting out those goals of people knowing you, people coming to you because of social media, because of your marketing pieces, increasing your business exponentially due to marketing. And maybe you want to host events or webinars that are attended by 300, 400 people. If they're attended by 5 right now, that's a scary, audacious goal. But set at least 3 of them and make sure that you review them periodically. You want to be reviewing your SMART goals at least weekly. These dream big goals, I would say, where you should be reviewing monthly. And honestly, some of the big scary ones do get accomplished because you're reviewing them, because they're consistently in your mind. So I don't mean to say by any means that every goal should be SMART. You do need to have some of these big, big, big goals as well. Any questions before we go forward? Okay. So after you've done all of the planning and setting your goals, you have to execute on the plan. It's really, really easy to write things down or to come up with a plan. And when things get busy or unpredictable or who knows what, it's really easy not to execute on the plan. So none of the planning matters if you don't execute on it. And when I was talking to Cindy about how you really accomplish your marketing goals and execute upon them, the biggest thing that kept coming up is accountability. So Cindy herself calls herself an accountability coach. If you don't have someone holding you accountable other than yourself, it's really difficult to do anything. So you need to set your goals as step 1, and then you need to be held accountable as step 2. Most people are not intrinsically accountable to themselves. They need something external holding them accountable. So whether that's a coach or maybe a coworker, or especially for your marketing goals, a coworker is a great place to start, or a teammate, because then you guys can hold each other accountable together and you understand exactly what your goals are working towards. You cannot by any means underestimate the impact of an accountability partner or a coach. That is definitely my biggest piece of advice. And in marketing, you want to make sure it's someone who understands that part of it. You don't just want someone who's really good at real estate. You want someone who's really good at marketing real estate. And then really the last thing is, after you have the accountability, you have the plan, you have to do the work. If you aren't willing to post on Instagram 3 to 5 times a week, you're not going to grow your following by 2%. If that is the goal, you have to do the work that's going to get you there. And for a lot of people, especially when it comes to marketing, I hear them say day in and day out, they don't want to do the work. They want the result, but they don't want the work. And while I would argue at times that marketing isn't the thing that's necessarily getting you your paycheck, I I would argue that it can lead to it. It can lead to another listing or another client. It can lead to more exposure and more business. So all of the marketing is really important, and the planning is the first step at being effective at that. So that's kind of our slide deck. I don't like to overwhelm people with, this is how you create your marketing plans. It's really simple. You need to just follow those steps and set your goals effectively. Once that happens, it all comes back down to this last slide. There is no silver bullet. There is no way to just make marketing happen for you overnight. You have to commit to it. And so my advice would be to set maybe one goal each quarter. That's really smart. And then you can evaluate against the quarter and tweak. I will tell you, I do things in marketing that don't work out the way we think they will all the time. It's a lot of it is trial and error, and realizing what your niche is. Where are your clients, and were your goals properly aligned with that? So I think the shorter your time bound period is within a reasonable time frame is better. So I don't love people setting 365-day goals. I much prefer and I suggest much more often a 3-month goal that you can really then look back on and tweak. So
I wanted to jump in here. I know it's January and we just finished a very unique year.
yeah,
And I think it was a good year for a lot of people in many ways, even with the challenges that are out there. The environment for buying and selling is robust. But anybody on the call kind of want to share a goal that they might have set for 2021 that is out of the box
yeah,
for you? You know what I mean? Like, I can tell you there's a lot out of the box in my end of it with marketing. There's things I'm not comfortable yet with doing. Sarah is helping me with that. And it's the fear of the unknown that I think holds you back a little bit. But we're all adapting kind of to new normals. We're adapting to new age groups of borrowers, that you're trying to be relatable to, that maybe, you worked your business a particular way that they're not used to working, and you've got to change. Or sometimes you're working with people that are seeking out your way of doing things, that maybe you're more relational, more on the phone, less on email kind of ways. So I'd love to hear any feedback from anybody if you've decided, hey, I need to be more X, or I need to reach more Y because of a change you're going to make in your marketing plan. Somebody's got to have something out there.
Okay, so I have something. And actually this year it would be one, I want to do more on video.
Mhm.
And so I've set a goal to do 3 videos a quarter.
Mhm.
And so that is definitely out of the box. So that is pretty scary to me. And so a big kind of like it's a goal, but I almost feel like it's a big one because it's going from nothing to doing the 3 videos.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Gwen, here's my question. I love that goal. I think it's a great goal, and I think it's really realistic. The one thing that's missing is, where are the videos going? So what are the outlets for broadcast? And what are you doing on those platforms already?
So right now, I'm not doing anything on a platform. So that would probably be part of the goal, is to, I have like a YouTube channel, but I haven't done anything with it. So it's now looking to utilize something that I set up years ago. Also looking at doing it, just video emails, or might be, one of them.
Mhm.
So my suggestion to you is, if you don't have your YouTube channel isn't already active, I would actually shrink your goal a little bit to 2 videos a month and start them strictly on email. Start that as your place of work, get out, and after 2 to 3 months of that, start including your YouTube link in those emails and upload the last 4 or 6 videos into the YouTube channel first.
Mhm.
So that way, I will tell you, our personal regional goal is 4 videos a month, and we record video every day, which is the only reason I say shrink it to 2. It feels like something you will 1,000% commit to and excel at. And then you can build up to 3 or 4. But that long form video that lives on YouTube, that 10-minute plus content, is a lot more of a commitment than it sounds like.
Mhm.
Hey, could I ask Gwen a question? Gwen, when you say make videos, there's so many kinds of videos. You know, there's walkthroughs and there's hello, it's me again. What kind of videos are you thinking about making? How long do you plan to make them? I mean, will they be 2-minute videos or 10-minute videos?
I'm probably looking more at like the 2-minute video, especially since it's my beginning video and just getting over that hurdle. So definitely more like the 2-minute video.
And Gwen, are you using Facebook at all or Instagram?
Well, let's just say I have them and using them very sparingly, but yes, so not a big user, but I do have them. And that was something that towards the end of last year, I was just trying to get more into utilizing them as far as being on there more and responding and stuff more to people.
Okay, so if you're talking about the 2-minute mark, I would actually house them on Facebook directly. We tend to use a 10-minute benchmark on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another option. Okay, we just finished Susan's website. We're using the blog as a category for her videos. So in other words, you can use that platform, have categories. We have sell a home, buy a home. And so she's doing basically 1-minute videos that we've been toiling over, practicing, getting them done right, because I make her memorize certain ones. And then we use a short PowerPoint. Nothing's over a minute because they don't listen for more than a minute. And then what we do is we give them an upsell. So I've helped her create 2 little short ebooks till we get their emails.
Yeah.
And they get something for it. That's a value. So she teaches 1 tip. There's 9 more tips in the book, a total of 10 tips or 12 tips or whatever.
Yeah.
So you've really got to remember that follow-up is key. I love YouTube. I'm probably one of the biggest users of YouTube, but here's the problem. You get somebody on YouTube, they're all over the place. They're getting distracted by all the stuff. We built Susan's site on a WordPress platform so that our editor keeps the video there. A YouTube video link does not go to YouTube. It stays right in place. So we've got their attention at all times, keeping them in our funnel that we want them in. And and with search engine optimization, making money and being successful isn't easy. You've got to have a plan, and so it can really happen. But you're right. It does start with exercising the practice. You've got to practice so you feel comfortable. Do you think Susan was comfortable when she told me I took her to the limit? But I did. That's what I do as a coach. But the bottom line is, look at when her site is launched, I'll make sure I send the link to everybody so you can take a look at it. It's unbelievable. But you've got to have some, we drive a car, right? We drive down the street, we're in a car, our packages are in the car. We go to the grocery store, we bring the packages home from the grocery store. We have this one thing with wheels on it. Well, in business, you have to have one thing called, you better have a website today, because people are going to check you out, and you better be on Google, So there's a lot of things that you have taught us that are valuable, so and they need to exercise. But you're right. Starting off and getting some of this down is really key, because then they're practicing and it becomes like, remember what I said, 12 years ago, I didn't know what a browser was or whatever it's been now. And now I'm building websites. it's an evolution. It's a technological evolution in your brain as the wiring start to get less technophobish,
Right.
right?
And I think establishing what your niche clientele is will also determine what platform you need to be using to house that video. If you are targeting first-time home buyers, Gen Z, YouTube is imperative. We only have about 30 seconds to capture their attention, but once we capture it, it doesn't go anywhere. So, and their brains are developed weirdly to be able to multitask better than any previous generation. So if first-time homebuyers are that niche for you, YouTube is a non-negotiable, in addition to a website and housing your video there as well. Absolutely agree with Cindy on that. You do need to have some sort of website, and more video that you can add there, the better. But every platform has its specific niche, and it's really important to establish that part as part of your marketing plan before you start just throwing video around.
So Cindy, you help people set up web pages with blogs and all that stuff.
What was that?
Cindy, did you say you help agents set up web pages, blogs, and video blogs, that sort of stuff?
Well, yeah, we do that for our coaching members.
Oh, I see.
So,
Okay.
yeah. But I can send you to my WordPress coach, and eventually, when he has time, I mean, it takes a lot to build one. You know, he doesn't teach people how to go do video and all that kind of stuff. That's really what I do with my coaching members. So for the ones that want to, I don't make them do anything. But the ones that do, that aspire to higher levels, then I help them with that sort of thing. Okay.
Awesome. Any other questions or things we can help you talk through as you think about your marketing plans? Okay.
Well, very good, Sarah. And I'm sure Kelly wants to say some final words because she is such a good business building trainer anyway. If where we go from here is the time management class. I will teach you how to use the goal sheet I created. I find that to be very helpful for people, and it's a real follow-up from a lot of the things that Sarah was saying. And, you know, I think I really definitely do. So you want to make sure that you all sign up for that. I'm going to start hitting that ad really heavy next week. So you want to go ahead and sign up here, you know, in the next couple of days. All right, I'm going to shut up now.
Well, I really appreciate everybody joining today. I hope you will attend the time management class. And a lot of our functionality when we think of things like this to bring to you is to try to keep it as simple as we can so that it's measurable. You can start it immediately. We don't want to overwhelm you with tasks, right? What we want to do is take things that you already have in mind and execute smartly on those simple things. Like, don't have, you know, some people have 10 and 15 goals, and that's great. But if you could take 5 and execute well, your business is growing at a rapid rate, and then add another. So I think the time management follow-up to this would be great. Sarah's slides, I think, are so valuable in terms of their simplicity. And, you know, keep something in front of you every day to kind of keep you on task. But I really hope you'll join the January 26th class. We're all looking forward to it. And thank you for coming today. I really appreciate it. Sarah's always got some great information for everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
All
Kelly.
right, have a great day.